This is how I manage a losing week using risk reward in my favor. This week, guys, we had one green day, 3 losses, and 1 break even. Here's my trade seller report. As you guys can see, we're currently down $83 this week. Now, we have not had a losing unprofitable week since the month of January. Now, in this video, we're going to use the market replay and go over some trades that I have taken this week on AMD and Nvidia. Just to show you guys how I have lost on these trades, how you guys can learn from them as well. And they're live recorded, so if you guys want to go watch them all. Before we dive into the video, I always mention how I'm willing to take a 10 to 12% cut specifically on my risk because I go in for a specific amount. So each trade that I take is very structured. So we're going to start off with Tuesday. Since Monday, we did make money, but on Tuesday, guys, we had took a losing trade, and that is when the losing streak has started from Tuesday to Friday. So first, we're going to start with Nvidia. And you guys can see on the trade idea plan here on Tuesday, I had posted my trade idea plan already on Nvidia with this trendline breakout here that is forming, as well as we even have a level at 109.50 for a potential breakout trade, guys. So here we are early in the pre-market before the market even opens. And let's see exactly what happens and how I took a loss and how much did I lose on this trade. Because guys, most importantly, I want you guys to understand how much money I am losing on these trades, because my entry model is usually to go in for $300, willing to lose $30 of it to try to gain anywhere from $60 to $90, which is the 1 to 2 or 1 to 3. So let's play this trade out and show you guys exactly what had happened. Now, if you were watching the live trade with me on Tuesday, you guys would have seen that we did not enter right away. And I even posted this in the trade ideas tab that, guys, you guys got to wait for candle confirmation. That's exactly what I waited for. So boom. We got our first 15-minute candle confirmation breakout to the upside, indicating that this is a perfect time for a breakout. This is the first part to my breakout strategy, which is the breakout, and then I wait for a retest. So in this case, then you wait for a decent pullback, which is right here, guys. This is my strategy all in one go. So once you catch the retest, all you got to do is assess your risk, set your price target, which in this case is the most previous highs, set a stop loss, which in this case is the most previous recent price action support. So if we lose that, it'll be a break of structure to the downside of some new lower lows. After we get in and enter on this retest, which is perfectly my model entry, we just see what it does, see how it plays out. And in this case, guys, this is where we had to cut it for a loss, because what had happened here, we got in exactly what we needed, which is a candle close below, indicating that this is a break of structure to the downside, and we just need to cut for a loss, guys. So we had to take the cut here, but we took a $31 loss, as you guys can see here on the first day of Tuesday, and that was based off just an Nvidia failed breaking retest. And I want to show you guys how important it is to take your losses and don't just hold and hold and hold and hope for it to come around. Now, this trade setup definitely did look good because it was consolidating here before the breakout, which is kind of what you want to see. But in this case, guys, we just got wrecked. So it is what it is. So as you can see, when I zoom out, that is where I took my Tuesday trade. As you guys can see here, ended up failing. And then I did not trade Nvidia until Friday. So before we go on to Friday's Nvidia trade, which also looks pretty decent, but we just had to take a small cut, I do want to go over AMD's trade, guys, because we said we're going to go over 3 trades that we took. And I do want to go over AMD's trade as well. So AMD on the hourly time frame, which is very simple break and retest strategy as well. But again, guys, this one had actually failed as well, which I'm going to show you guys on the 15-minute time frame. But first, I want to show you guys why I entered on a higher time frame. So again, resistance rejection here, pulls up and breaks through here, holds support, even bounces here for support. So this is a very good area of price action. And again, here's the breakdown, guys. This is why I expected the market to fall off here very hard. Then when you go on a 15-minute time frame, you guys can see it was a nice retest. It actually was going in my favor at first. We were up about 12% on this trade. We live traded this one as well. So all these trades I'm talking about, guys, I want you guys to understand. We live traded every single one of these trades and posted on YouTube. So on this trade here, we took a 20% loss, which was a little bit bigger than what we expected, but we did hold it all the way to our stop loss, which is way up here. And let's go in the live trade section and let's show you guys how it was in the live. So very simply, you're watching the market. I'm noticing that AMD is coming into my potential trade idea plan, and I'm eyeing this trade for a trade entry. Now, as soon as the market opens, I see the first 15 minutes confirmation candle confirming that it's a rejection long way to the upside, indicating that seller is stepping in. And then again, I see another long way to the upside. So guys, what do I do here? I ended up entering in for a short position to the downside on some AMD puts. Now again, all you got to do is assess your risk, try your best to shoot for a 30% price target, and you always know how much you're willing to lose. And in this case, 10% or a 20% stop loss was way up here. Now, again, I live recorded this one and we watched it literally come back twice, almost to break even, almost to profits many times. And then it ultimately sold me off again and we got clapped. So you guys can see, ends up pulling all the way up. And guys, you just have to cut it. It is what it is. One thing I really do want to point out with the stop loss is the fact that, guys, all you need to do is cut it the moment you get the confirmation candle close for a failed trade. Because if I hold it and just try to see, what's going to happen on the next candle and just hope and have hope that it's going to come back in my favor, look at how much more down bad I would be. not only would I be down 20%, but I probably would be down well over 40, 50, 60% here. And then this is where the traders get into that mindset of, you know what, I'm just going to hold it all day and let it do its thing. And then next thing you know, that whole contract goes down to negative 100%. And that is what I'm talking about, guys. So that's why I'm willing to take these small cuts, or in this case, this was a 20% cut. So I took this quick L and just moved on the day and did not take any other trades. So we just went over Tuesday's trades, Wednesday trade on AMD, took a trade on Thursday on AMD as well, but unfortunately made $0 literally, even though that trade was well over an hour hold. And then here is Friday, guys. So this was Friday, and this is why I say it is a 3-day losing streak, because from Tuesday till Friday, we did nothing but take L trades. And in this trade right here, we took a $39 loss, which puts us on the end of the week at an $83 loss for the week, which isn't too crazy considering that we did take many trades and many red days. Now, let's talk about this trade here, because this one was, again, another failed break and retest. But if you guys watched Friday's vlog, which was a very fun one as well, we literally only broke down this trade here, said we're going to trade this trade if it comes into favor and if it does exactly what we need it to do. And it actually did exactly what we needed it to, except it never bounced. So let me show you guys this trade, because this trade actually was a good trade setup. It's just one of those trades where end up chopping and going sideways with the market. So again, as usual, I posted this trade idea plan in the trade ideas tab saying that Nvidia has a potential breakout trade here to the upside. Now, all I was watching for was a breakout. Again, that's the first step to a break and retest strategy. In this case, guys, this is the breakout. Now, what do is you wait for the retest, pullback. And you guys saw on the live trade as well, or while I was out there on my vlog, that we entered in on a pullback. As soon as we entered in on a pullback, it never went in our favor. It immediately continued on downwards, immediately right to our stop loss, which in this case, guys, we just had to cut it. We just had to cut it for a 13% L, which put us at $39 loss on the day, and we just took it on the day, and it is what it is. Then you can see for the rest of the day, it literally just went sideways, never went up, never went down, and just chopped around. So again, you just have to cut on those days, because had I held it for the end of the day, I'd be down a lot worse. And guys, I hope this video helps you guys understand. You need to make sure you have the right risk management. You need to make sure you have the right stop loss set in place, price target set in place, and you need to make sure the trade setup is also in favor. In this case, guys, we did have a losing week, but it is what it is. Because overall, in the whole month, we're well over $510 on the month, but we ended that week with a negative week. So I was almost well over $600, but at $80 loss. Ended the April horrible. So we're gonna see how this month goes. We got a fresh month of May. We got a fresh week coming up here soon. So we're gonna see how this one goes, and I hope you guys have an awesome weekend, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.